The floor skews wildly beneath my feet as I stagger along the narrow corridor below decks. I slam a palm against the rough wood to brace myself. Seawater sloshes around my ankles, and a reek fills my nostrils. Dead fish, salt, and the acrid sting of gunpowder and smoke. Somewhere overhead, the cannon cracks again. A futile measure, because the pirates will be boarding us any minute now. These pirates fly the crowned skull and bones, the symbol of the Pirate King, which means they won't take any woman prisoner. They never do. They'll slaughter the men or take them as slaves and leave the women to go down with the ship. Few women have survived being left adrift with a wreck. Not that many women sail the shorn seas anyway. Too dangerous. I'm one of the few women stupid enough or desperate enough to pay for passage on a merchant vessel headed out of the safer coastal waters and into wilder seas. And now I'm about to be left for chum in the shark-infested deep. I stumble into my cabin, a tiny square with a short bunk and a minuscule washstand. As I scrabble under the bunk and drag my travel chest out, my fingernail snags on the wood and rips painfully. I shuck off my dress, my shoes, my stockings and my underthings. My brother's old knife, the one he gave me years ago, is strapped inside the lid of the trunk. I disengage it quickly and set to work cutting the bedsheet into strips. When the ship rocks again, I nearly impale myself on the blade by accident. But thankfully the only damage is a bloody scratch down my arm. Not a bad idea to be a little bloodied, if I want my ruse to work. I wind the strips of the sheet around my chest, binding my breasts down as flat as I can. Despite the urgency, I make myself slow down and take the time to do the job right, because those telltale lumps of flesh are my passage to the bottom of the sea. When I made this plan, I never thought I'd have to implement it. It was always sort of a hazy notion in my mind, a just-in-case thought. If I'd been smart, I'd have had cloth strips cut and waiting. But I didn't. At least I had the forethought to stuff a loose brown shirt and a pair of coarse trousers in among my things. I knot some cloth around my hips and crotch to make a very slight bulge at the front of my trousers. Pulling on the trousers and the shirt takes only a moment. And then there's the matter of my hair. I unwrap the braid from around my head and sheared through it at the root. Then I saw off a few more chunks of hair. But the ship is groaning and canting perilously now, and I don't dare bring the blade too near my head and face again. After sheathing the knife, I jam it into my waistband. Next, I wrap my head in some of the cloth strips, rubbing my bloodied arm over the ragged mess and streaking some blood along my face.